Saturday in LA, late January. And today, as I explore the territories of Scientology, I also want to explore the idea of things that work in Scientology. You know, obviously something has to work. Something has to give people a feeling of achieving something for them to do it. I mean, you got to give them something. And nobody here, none of the protesters that I know of at least, are claiming that nothing works in Scientology. But what I would say is that anything that does work very well in Scientology, it'd probably work better next door here at the Self-Realization Fellowship. I bet you it would work just as well, if not better there. But anyway, I was reading a little bit about Scientology TRs this morning, or their training routines. And I came to a couple of conclusions, or at least theories. So in Scientology, right in the very beginning, apparently before you can really go very far, they have this TR, I think it's TR 0 or 1 or something, a training routine, where the deal is that you look somebody in the eye without blinking or moving for 2 hours. So you sit face to face with another person and you stare them down for 2 hours straight, and you're not allowed to twitch, you're not allowed to blink, you're not allowed to move any part of your body, apparently. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I just read a little excerpt of a book today. But the question then is, could that be beneficial? Could that work? And the woman who wrote the book, said that when she was getting towards that 2 hours, you know, everything started looking really weird. The room started lighting up and things like that. And, all right, we got company. We got back watchers, or at least one. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Good to see you.
There you are. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm good. Something can be done about it. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, you stare at each other's eyes for 2 hours. This woman started feeling all kinds of weird stuff, you know, that kind of felt mystical, like the room getting all sparkly. And, well, you know, I'm kind of impressed if Scientologists can sit there for 2 hours and look somebody in the eye and not blink. That's a skill. That's definitely a skill. That's not a skill that most people would be able to do right off the bat. I can't claim to have ever achieved that illustrious feat. But it is a skill to be able to control your body in that way, where you keep your eyes focused, you don't blink even though your eyes are burning like crazy, and you stare that other person down. Obviously, you're going to get some trippy results to not closing your eyes for 2 hours. Yeah. Now, what can we compare that to? Let's say L. Ron Hubbard didn't get that straight from Xenu. Let's say, hello.
It's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You're famous now. So, if he didn't get it straight from Xenu, where might he have gotten it? Well, I was lucky enough a couple of times to have been for a very short period of time at a Zen monastery, and I learned mystery solved. Here's a nurse from the hospital getting in her car that she has parked in the Scientology lot. Many times that I have been here, I have marveled at the number of cars parked here. And I have thought, there's no way there's that many Scientologists here. There is no way. And if there are, then there are more Scientologists than I thought. This just solved a big puzzle. Okay? Exactly. It's proof that, I'm sure some of the cars are Scientologists, but I've heard that Scientology has a practice of letting people from adjacent businesses and whatever use their parking lot to make it look like it's not so totally dead as it actually is in almost every. And remember, this is like the first or second most active Scientology location on Earth. Okay, and it is basically dead. And hey, nice to Scientology that you allow nurses to park in your parking lot. Bravo. One of the best things I've ever heard about Scientology. One of the most caring for the community type things. And so just avoiding photographing that whole family. They got nothing to do with this mess. So we have solved that mystery. Scientology obviously allows people to park there because if you see all these tow-away signs, they're very big about warning people not to park there. So obviously, some people have the permission. And now I'm curious if there's any kind of placard. Do they pay Scientology? Do they put something on their car that lets Scientology know that that car is okay? Or is it kind of an informal thing? Does that mean when I come here and do this, I could park there too? I severely doubt it. These cameras would be on to me in 2 seconds. So anyway, this training routine where they stare into each other's eyes for 2 hours, no blinking allowed, no facial movement, no moving your lips, nothing, for 2 hours. In Zen Buddhism, they have a thing where they'll come and hit you with a stick if you move. Yep, flunk start, exactly. In Scientology, exactly. They'll just say flunk and start, and then you got to start your 2 hours over again. And so you keep doing it until you get your 2 hours. And then that's kind of the building blocks of other things, where you make eye control. And so the next thing, and I'm not an expert on this. This is just from my reading, okay? Yeah, that's the higher levels of Miscavige or whatever when they're beating you up for failing. That's not the lowly, just, everybody doing it. But yeah, They hit you with a stick in Zen, and it's to bring you into focus, into the present moment, and not drift off. In Zen meditation, or at least the Zen meditation I did, you have your eyes closed. Hello? Are you guys Scientologists? Huh? Scientologists? Yeah? Is it fun? What's your favorite part? I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. What? I'm a wizard. Yeah. I am my religion. Anyway, curiosity about other religions. That's a rare thing for a Scientologist. So the staying at earshot, another Scientology tactic. So anyway, but at least there's somebody pretending to be friendly, waving, stuff like that. That's good. Exactly. Oh yeah. Always attack, never defend. But, not much of an attack to say, what religion are you? I wouldn't consider that a total attack.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
That entrance right there.
Yeah. But, hey, maybe there's going to be a kindness offensive starting. Scientology always does try different techniques as they evolve and develop. So anyway, you have your eyes open, you're staring at another person. It's like Zen. Like I was saying, in Zen, you keep your eyes open, you just stare at a certain spot, and then you try to be in the moment, drop the thoughts and whatnot. In Scientology, you're staring into another person's eyes, and that is kind of to develop a certain ability to be in control, boss people around. Comes in handy if you reach higher levels of Scientology where you need to boss people around, tell them what to do, and all of that. But on the positive side, let's find some positive. Another thing that they do is they do some exercises around stating a command to people or even objects. And they have this belief that if your command, if you really own this command, that you can tell that ashtray to levitate, and it will. And if it doesn't levitate, you just aren't fully, grounded in this command thing that you're doing. And so, yeah, it is useful for a shy person. Exactly. This is what I was going to say. So if you can stare into somebody's eyes for 2 hours without blinking, number one, that's going to teach you a level of self-control, a level of not getting intimidated by people, things like that, and self-control over your body. I mean, I can imagine anything like that where you have to have that much self-discipline, that you're holding your eyes open, you're not blinking, you're not moving anything, you're staring at this other person. You're new to Scientology, you're intimidated. Every time you flinch in the least bit, then they say, flunk, start, and you start over from scratch, and you're like, man, I sure as hell don't want to be an hour and a half into this thing, and then I got to start over. That wouldn't be fun. And so, you kind of pull it all together. You get this level of self-control, and then, for certain people who are unfocused, lazy, whatnot, that might be a good thing to practice on, But you don't need to join a cult to sit there and keep your eyes open for 2 hours. Luckily, you could just do that in the privacy of your own home, and you could even use a mirror instead of another person. I'm not, again, saying there's no value to this exercise. There probably is value to that exercise. And then you learn how to state commands, like stand up and walk over there. And the person stands up and walk over, and that's one level. And then another level, the person defies your command. And then you have to dip down, Kentucky Derby, Canada's Tarnation Trailer Park. Yeah, that's one way to ask a question. I like that. What's going on here is like Scientology's pretending to be helping the community. Yeah, I just copied some meme on Facebook that was so it said like having a political debate with my cat, and then there was like a little caption thing where the cat's saying you're too high or something. I don't know, but I'll have to put that as the picture on one of these. So anyway, yeah, if you can actually feel intentionality and kind of bark out a command, and state it with power, right? For certain shy people, for certain people who are easily intimidated by others and whatever, this must be a really empowering feeling, because you learn, and then you are praised when you get it right. So that must be nice. And, you have these people that are kind of being intimidating, but then part of the exercise is that you boss them around and you act intimidating to them. And when you do it right, they say, good job, and hip, hip, hooray, and all that. And then you feel like, wow. But this is another thing to remember about Scientology. All the good stuff. Well, yeah, exactly, Polkaroo. They're training you to be an asshole. And, some people that are shy and they do this kind of training. Hi, Katie. They do go straight from shy to asshole. And I've seen that, actually. I knew a lot of Japanese expats that lived here, and they would have all their Japanese rules, and then they would learn you don't need to do that here. And then what would happen is they would drop the Japanese rules, at least with Americans, and then they would be really rude. And it was like the world's most polite people would all of a sudden do these really rude things, because when they dropped all the rules of Japanese culture, they kind of had no reference point. So yeah, for a shy person who learns to bark commands and all of that, no, it's not Jeff Goldblum, and it's not David Letterman either. But thank you for that. Yeah, oh, Lurch. Yeah, that's a guy you're gonna sell your soul to, right? Good old Lurch. So anyway, yeah, if you are a shy person and then you feel this level of empowerment of I told that ashtray what to do, I'm not at the level where the ashtray obeyed, but I'm getting there. That would feel empowering. And most people feel pretty damn disempowered. So Scientology teaches you to bark commands at people, just like those Chinese communists in England were barking at that piano player guy, Dr. Boogie Woogie or Mr. Boogie Woogie, whoever, that viral video from England. Those people obviously had some training that was very similar to Scientology and to a spoiled brat. Barking commands, expecting other people to obey your every command. Now, if you were a really shy person, really insecure, and all of a sudden you have the ability to bark these commands at people that are bigger than you, stronger than you, dominant in every other way, and you find yourself barking out commands that they obey, that could be very ego strengthening. Also, that could give people what Scientology would call wins that would help them feel like they're achieving things in Scientology. So by giving these people a tangible feeling of that, they say, see, this stuff works. And the people are like, yeah, I was skeptical and everybody said it was a cult, but I feel so good now. Right, you could take an assertiveness course, you could do all kinds of things. You could do Zen meditation for one part of it. So there are a lot of things that you could do. There are a lot of books that you could read. There's a lot of self-help. But, there are two aspects to Scientology that play on this stuff, where one aspect is they want to find your ruin. They want to find your lowest moment. They want to get you in a moment of crisis. But also, they thrive on getting people who've never done much self-help or therapy or, spiritual practices of a more esoteric nature. It's people that maybe never really even had a real friend that they could confide in. And by real friend, I mean somebody that you could talk about your vulnerabilities with and be very sure they would not use it against you. In Scientology, they'll pretend that they're not going to use it against you until you don't do what they say. Right, then the training routines are functioning, absolutely. And so that's the thing. They get you in with certain things that are hard. You feel like you accomplished something. You get, real pats on the back for your accomplishments. And then, you feel amazing. And you get the dopamine rush or whatever that makes you want to keep doing it. And then they use the same technique on you to, if you don't want to pay for the next course. Like, Scientology always has the next thing they want you to do. And it's not very negotiable, if at all. And they do it in that same commanding way. So that thing that made you feel all strong and empowered, now you find, well, there's people way ahead of you and they're using it on you all the time. Unless you do everything they say, then they don't. But if you give them any resistance, then they are going to do that barking at you. And it's not going to be fun. It will be intimidating. And usually they'll get what they want out of you, because in the end, if you don't go along with their program, then they will just kick you out. So they'll negotiate to a certain degree. They'll browbeat you. They'll threaten you in whatever way. They'll have a good cop. They'll have a bad cop. They'll play their mind games on you. You notice how few people are showing up to get any of this donated food? This Soylent Green being given out by Scientology. Now, I saw something online from, I believe, yesterday, and somebody was giving out food here, and there were a lot of people showing up for that food. But see, I think these people are wearing volunteer minister outfits. The other people were from some organization. Nobody wants the harassment. Yeah. Right. LACA. Right. Exactly. You watched that one. Good. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if this is LACA, because it only just says something can be done about it. So I'm kind of thinking this might be Scientology. Soylent Green, yeah. They grind up the old Sea Org members and turn them into Soylent Green and hand it out to the poor people. In my imagination, obviously, for typical Scientology, yeah. And that's the same color of yellow that they used to do the SP declares when they would declare you a suppressive person. They'd give it to you on paper like that. But then they quit giving people their SP declares on paper, and they were just telling them, you're with me on that with your imagination, cool. Yeah, they just told them that they're an SP, but they wouldn't give them the written documentation anymore. Probably because, like every video Tori Magoo did for a long time, she'd hold up her SP declare very proudly and made a point of like, yeah, I can prove it. Here, look, and I don't think they like that very much. So I'm not saying that's the only thing that made it happen. But yeah, so again, if you can learn to sit and not blink for 2 hours straight, that's an accomplishment. I'll give it to you. That is an accomplishment. And oh, I get it. Okay. I don't know emojis. That's, it's just hieroglyphics to me, Yes, very special person. Uh-oh, there's somebody walking onto the property with a phone in a filming type position. Oh my God. That can't be allowed. Actually going to get food. Well, if they're filming it, then I say bravo. Cool. Call in those. I don't see what you're talking about, the blockage, but I'll go with it. Call everybody. Hey, that's a good haul. 4 of those bags. Nice. Oh, there's a dude. I was hoping that guy was not a Scientologist since he laughed at whatever I was saying that moment. And now, if there's any Kool-Aid in there, don't drink it.
Why?
You know, cults and Kool-Aid don't go well together.
Oh, Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. You know, like punch,
Yeah.
like fruit punch.
Punch fruit.
You know, Jim Jones.
Fruit punch. Yeah, it don't no good. It's a.
No. I'm joking.
She's taking pictures.
Oh yeah, she's okay. She's okay. She's my friend.
Oh, good. Nice to see you again. Nice.
See you later. Okay, well,
Can I see what they gave you?
no, he does not get the reference. There's a little.
I'll buy you better things.
Tell him I said don't drink the Kool-Aid in Spanish. He wasn't getting my reference at all.
Kool-Aid in there?
No, I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah,
I
no,
was just when they gave him food, I'm just
Yeah.
like, don't drink the Kool-Aid, and he's like, Kool-Aid, what?
It's like a Kool-Aid in the bag? Oh my god, like a Kool-Aid in the bag?
He's like, what? It's expired?
They're giving me Kool-Aid?
I'm like, no, it's not expired. It's. Are they even trying to get anybody out on the street there?
No, there. No one is out there. No, there are no signs. You know how they usually have a sign?
Usually, yeah, or they'll
Like
have
little
people
sign.
standing out
Standing
there.
dancing with the sign.
Right.
Not
No,
that.
they're not even
They're
trying.
not even trying. Have you seen a car go by? Or since I've been here?
I mean, I've seen, now this is like the third person I've seen pick up some food,
Pick up
so.
some food walking, but no.
Um,
I think they stopped with a drive-thru.
but what I did see is nurses using this parking lot, so that's very interesting.
Oh, the nurses are using this parking. That's-
Yeah.
should start with
And that was, because other Scientology locations,
Ah,
that's what they would do to make the
see,
parking
I was
lot.
having this conversation last night with my chat, wondering if Kaiser has anything to do with Scientology, and the nurses are parking here, so.
Right. So there's no way this is all Scientology. Well, I mean, I've already seen it, so yeah, I'll go around. I'm gonna. That's what I was gonna do. It's good to. Well, I can't get closer to those tents. That's about the closest I can get to the tents because the other side, I won't even be able to see them, or barely. But I don't like to just stay in one position anyway. Got to get my steps in. Got to get my exercise. I wasn't even going to do this. I'm like, hold on, I can't see. It's all, sorry, I couldn't see any of those because of all the glare. It's a hot summer day here in LA. I'm sweating out here in the sun. Rubbing it into all the people who don't have that. Well, when I try to zoom in by touching the screen, I always mess stuff up and like a bunch of chats get erased and weird stuff, so I'm not too good at that yet. There are things that still have to be figured out. But anyway, yeah, usually right around here, they will have people kind of by the sign. They'll have people out in the street and they are, they have signs for free food or whatever, food giveaway, whatever it says on the sign. Usually there's like 2 or 3 of them right here. And they're kind of waving people in. And usually you don't see very many people doing it, but now they don't even have any way for people driving by to even know that this is going on. So that's kind of interesting. And usually the reason for that would be that they don't want those people interacting with us. Because we are SPs and we are full of interdimensional space demons and cooties, and therefore we are quite undesirable to the pristine purity of Scientologists. And obviously, they want to keep those cooties away. Well, you can see the back of the tent a little better.
I go, oh, do you mean that gigantic building right there that says in huge letters Scientology?
More. Good job. All right.
You said, yeah.
There's the only person getting something off of Scientology. If you want to make a profit off of Scientology, take the free food and don't give them any money, and you'll be out ahead. That is the secret to everything. That is more secret than OT3 or the clear cognition. The secret to taking and not giving, which is usually the job of Scientology, but nowadays, in very specific moments, you can get free food. Oh, right, they got doorman service with a mask to not be identified by SPs. That's a beautiful thing. And here are some people that are not afraid of being identified. That's nice. Yeah, I wonder about the whole ID thing, how much information they try to get off of you. But then the other thing is Scientology's not really interested in poor people that can't afford a lot of services. So they're probably not really, this might be true charity, but it's not true charity, obviously. It's PR. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was talking about that before if you weren't here, that is the goldenrod of SP Declares, and that's right, that's what Scientology says. Everyone has money, and everybody's lying about not having money as well. So, you just got to shatter their suppression, just like they're shattering my suppression right now. Notice how all the Scientologists, their intentionality is just shattering my suppression. And now everybody that goes for auditing can say, why are all these people out here filming us? What's the deal with that? Flunk, flunk, flunk. Yes, they're very creepy. Oh, and there's a real creepy one. There's the head creepster right there. Run away, head creepster. The whole internet looking at you. Proud to be Scientology. Do we have any famous ones? We have any famous ones from the Hollywood org? I mean, it's sad seeing anybody come here, unless it's somebody who's getting free food. That's nice. But anybody else, don't give them your money. Anybody else, it's really a sad thing when you see that there is any activity at all. And, we have to kind of remind ourselves that this is basically 40% of what's going on with Scientology today in the whole world. I mean, there aren't this many people going to very many other Scientology locations, definitely. So, this is some of the most activity that you're ever going to see around Scientology. And that's kind of good to know. because for Scientology, this is just about as good as it possibly gets. But if we look at all of the real estate that this needs, that these people need to pay for, even when this is not taxed, this is a lot of real estate. This is a lot of electricity bills and all the other things you need to do to keep a building running. It's not cheap. So they are in the red. Oh, yay! Only 1 billion more years. You could do it. You could do it. Only 1 billion years. That's nothing. Don't do it. Don't do it. These people have no idea. You know, they're still on that rush of like, oh my God, I stared into another person's eyes for 2 hours and didn't blink. I am Homo novus. I am the next level of human incarnation. I am the new human. Homo sapiens are so below me now that I can stare into somebody's eyes and I can command ashtrays. I am the fly. Yes. So we also have to remember in a sales situation that most people, what is it, like 20% of the people bring you 80% of the revenue. And 80% of the people bring you 20% of the revenue. There's some kind of rule like that in sales. I remember from my sales days. And so most of the people coming in here are not bringing in that much revenue. Yeah, it's very North Korean. And the proceeds of any sale of any Scientology, anything, goes into a spider web of entities, legal entities, created for tax purposes and whatnot, that make it very easy to hide things. And I mean, the thing is, it's not, even though Davey Miscavige might be sitting on billions of dollars, he's in a situation where, it's not like he could just do whatever he wants with the money. It's not like he could get a big Joel Osteen mansion. Oh, look at them, all excited to be going to Scientology. They're going to take your money. They're going to take it all. They're all dressed up for Scientology. Oh my God. It's like being dressed up for Auschwitz. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to Auschwitz today. I better, wear my best clothes. Yeah, bad idea. I mean, well, wear whatever you want, but just remember where you're going and what that means, what that entails. Selling your soul to L. Ron Hubbard, who couldn't even find a decent dentist, but he has the secrets to this quadrant of the Galactic Federation and beyond. But Here on TGAC, we are meant to revere Elron. You are Jewish, yeah? Gamani Yehudi, if you know what that means. Bivrit. But otherwise, if you notice, all the activities right there. Shalom. Manishma. So, yeah. North Korea, after a neutron bomb. Neutron bombs are the ones that kill the people, but keep the buildings going. Do we have, is that Mr. Malma in the house? You only know Yiddish. Okay. Oh, I don't say the B word around here, stray bull. They'll call the cops right away. If they hear that word on one of their spy cams, they'll be like, that's it. All right. Hey, välkommen till Hollywood och 25 grader varmt. Got to greet the Swedes and rub our weather in Swedish noses. It's always fun. Yes, this is midwinter, you guys. Midwinter. Cover your face for shame, shame, shame of Scientology. Only one person covered her face. The other ones were dauntless and defiant, showing their faces to the world, proud of their cult membership. Rock on. Yeah, it is nice with, yeah, 25 Celsius. I mean, that's my guess. Quebec City, that sounds cold too. I hear there's a big storm coming up the East Coast. Salut, Mathieu. Let's see, Ontario. Are you guys all just tuning in for the weather and you don't give a shit about Scientology or what I'm saying? You're just like, I just want to look at palm trees. I just want to see that there is summer happening somewhere. No, I lived in New York for a few decades as a native Californian, and also in Europe, places like Sweden, where it is freezing, and I lived way above the zone of our friend Rune there. I lived north of Stockholm, so you know that's considered like Lapland to most Swedes. Hello, Toronto. Birmingham, yeah, you're probably, or Birmingham, right? You probably don't say the ham part, like Buckingham. It's like Buckingham. It's just that vibrational M. But it's good for people to know that we care, we are here, we are monitoring the existence. All right, another dog person to potentially be PTS, potential trouble source. We know how. Oh, thank you. Vous écoutez parler, okay. Cool, thank you, man. I love it. Oui, je suis un peu informé, mais j'ai jamais été scientologiste. Est-ce qu'on dit ça? Yeah, well, I've been nerding out on this material for a long time. Yeah, I might have seen videos of the Birmingham Scientology Center from back in the day, like in the 80s or the early 2000s or something. And there was that one guy that was on a motorized scooter thing in Plymouth, and he would go where the Scientology booths were, and then he would just be like, "Time for my medication." And oui, moi aussi, je déteste la Scientologie. And he would be like, medication time, and he'd spark up a joint like right next to the Scientologists, and I'm sure they didn't like that very much. Yes, Little North Korea. This would be a good place to bring tours to LA. All right, they couldn't have got you for that much money. If you're out that quick, nice. Bravo. Congratulations. They didn't interbulate your wallet. Now that's a car that tells you either we already got all their money or we're not going to get much. One or the other. But that's what the Directorate of Special Operations of Scientology is probably thinking. But the thing is with sales situations, any little... Wouldn't it be funny to come up here and put a sign up, "Welcome to Little North Korea"? Or do it off of Scientology property. Kind of leading up so Scientology would have no jurisdiction. You know, the Hollywood Testing Center is on Hollywood Boulevard, where they have all the stars with, in the sidewalk with all the stars' names. I am going to propose Xenu for a star on Hollywood Boulevard. Oh, I like it, Mathieu. That's a good idea. Do that, please. Yeah. I mean, do it now anytime you walk by, just do a little something here or there. And I mean, even like a little 5-minute video. Save your money! A little 5-minute video in front of any org, even just showing how dead it is, that's always a good thing to do. Yeah, I mean, obviously I get it. You don't want to stand out freezing for hours doing this kind of thing in a Quebec winter. I get that for sure. Oh, nice. They sued him. Okay. Beautiful. There's a lot to sue about. The 1,000-yard stare. Yeah. Well, what I'm curious about is here, if it's Scientology. It looks like it's Scientology giving out the food. They're also in a different spot than that other place was. And the Weatherford. So I don't know what that's about. The Weatherford. Okay, there's something to look up. And no threatening action from that dog, man. I think that's just somebody who gets free food. And then they act nice. And then Scientology can brag for years about the $50 worth of food they gave away once a month. You know, I'm sure it's something of that nature. Oh, hello. No way.
Oh, hey guys.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Are you here for Scientology?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yes, dude.
What's up?
What's up?
Are you here for it too?
Yeah.
Awesome. I thought you were relentless, whatever, Reckless Ben at first.
Reckless what?
Reckless Ben? Yeah, Reckless Ben.
Oh, this is just where I post up.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Cool. So, what's your YouTube?
Oh, I'm not on YouTube.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Instagram. What are you
What's
on?
your YouTube?
Davey Miscavige.
Are you on YouTube or like TikTok?
Only YouTube. Well, I'm getting off of TikTok since they're like dropping people like Jessica
called?
and Will. Davey,
Davey.
EY,
Davey.
Mismanage with IGE at the end, like our favorite cult leader.
Davey Miscavige.
Yeah.
Oh, right here.
Yep, that looks like it. I mean, if you look on the live, you'll be looking at yourself, so.
Oh, you're live right now?
Yeah. You're live right now.
Oh, yeah. Alright, I'll see you later.
All right, man. See you around the frontiers of OT 27. I know. I totally thought I was just going to meet Reckless Ben right there. Sorry, dude. Now you're on my live stream, probably learning about my disappointment. It's only you. Yeah, I was so bummed. I was watching Jessica's feed and I saw Tori was here. And I was so bummed to have missed that. That sucks so bad. Oh, Reckless Ben. I mean, I was going to start doing a total fanboy routine on that guy if that was Reckless Ben. That is the person who has done... I mean, there are certain people. There's the Angry Gay Pope. Love him. Absolutely. I was watching him the other day. Oh, yeah. I watched Tori like the whole time she was doing the stuff. All the way from dancing. What was it? Dancing in Boston or something. And I mean, yeah, the whole thing. I'm a huge fan of Tori. So when I was watching Jessica's feed from the comfort of my sofa, yeah, you guys all check out Reckless Ben. Don't get off the live stream to do it now, but in some future date when I'm not here. Yeah, Jessica's amazing. And I feel like for all those younger YouTubers and TikTokers, like, I can't do what they can do. First of all, I am not gonna do like 8 hours of this a day. Sorry. There's other things in life to accomplish for me. But yeah, DOA is great. I saw him here the other day. And but what I do have that they don't have is kind of the backstory. Somebody's quoting me. I like it. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I went and I watched when Leah Remini went on Bill Maher's, and it said it was posted on YouTube like 6 years ago. And immediately in the conversation, Bill Maher said, it's just like communism. And I was like, there we go. There's somebody working my theme, my theory. And I'm not talking about the pure communism that never existed in reality, where everybody's equal and it's the workers' paradise. I'm talking about Soviet communism, North Korea, all that. Um, so so back to the thing of like, well, does anything in Scientology work? And if so, where'd they get it? And yeah, one of the things that works is getting you into a place where you are able to say what you want. Yeah, utopian communism. I actually lived on a kibbutz in Israel, and that is the closest to actual utopian communism that's ever existed. And they don't exist anymore in the form that they were in, where everybody was equal. But it was really cool, actually. Like the guy, whoever would be president of the, it's like a village / collective farm, whatever. But everybody is an equal owner. And when somebody would be the president, they'd be president for 2 years. Oh, you don't have to believe in it. They don't exist anymore anyway. I'm just telling you my experience. But when the president would be done with his 2-year stint, first thing he would have to do is wash dishes for 3 months, wash heavy pots and pans, and get back to DM doesn't work. Oh, I don't know. Well, direct messaging doesn't work. Well, you can email me at daveymiscavige@protonmail.com, and that link is on the page for this YouTube. Well, they don't really separate. They only separate the kids from the parents when the kids are sleeping, so what happens on a kibbutz is they would go, and the kids live in a children's home, but they basically mainly only sleep there. Anyway, it doesn't exist anymore. And really what it ended up being is just like a little village where everybody gossiped about everybody. They were equal financially, but it was just like complete gossip fest. Oh, I get you. It would be uncomfortable. And anyway, they don't do it anymore. There might be one kibbutz where that still happens, but the side hustle about Scientology being so bad, you want to create another side. No. I don't want to create any other side of Scientology. No, my point is there are some things that work in Scientology. We can't get ourselves into a position of like, oh, it's all bullshit and nothing works. Because if that were the case, then, people probably couldn't be lured in that easily. But then also if we can look at, well, where does this stuff come from? Either it comes from the brilliant mind of L. Ron Hubbard, or he might have had some references. And in terms of like the staring thing, keeping your eyes open, not blinking and staring. Even in Zen Buddhism, you can blink, I believe. So not blinking and just having the tears do the job for 2 hours sounds pretty rough. But yeah, for the most part, so what I think works about Scientology, I think certain things in the very beginning of Scientology work. Like what we were talking about before. Yeah, it's okay. If you're shy and they're teaching you how to say, I want this, do this, whatever. And for some people that are really introverted, learning to do that and then having somebody tell you that's okay, that could be a first step of getting out of your introverted state. So I get that. That could be helpful. But then it goes too far and then you end up acting like a dictator. But what I'm saying is that first feeling of I commanded somebody for the first time in my life and they obeyed my command. For a lot of people, that would be a revolutionary new thing. Yeah, and it, you know, it's not something that only Scientology does or only Scientology knows about. Right. I know, I was trying to figure out plagiarize. That IA threw me off in the spell check a few days ago. So yeah, you know, if you learn to command somebody and then they follow your command and you're like, oh my God, I've never done that before. And you get that little rush of victory. And then you learn to command somebody who defies your initial command, and then you raise your voice and you feel your intentionality, and then you command and then they do it. That probably feels really good to certain people who have never done that before. I can imagine that's a nice feeling. And the tech, I'm not saying it all works. I'm saying there are little parts of it that work to get you hooked. Okay? It's kind of like saying, if you put bait on a hook, you are simulating feeding the fish so that you can kill them. Okay? But there is actual food on the hook. So you can't say there's no food on the hook. There is food on the hook. The only problem is that in the process of eating that nutritious, delicious worm on that hook, you are going to get the hook stuck in you, and then you're going to get pulled into the boat. And then you're dead. Okay? So that's kind of what Scientology is. There is some bait on their hook. And so we're just talking about the fact that some of the bait is correct. Well, yeah, that let yourself have a head, or, you know, like have an arm. Have a right arm. Good. You did it. Yeah, narcissist love bombing. Yeah, I talked about that a lot the other day. Well, that's the thing. See, number one, they find your ruin. They find the thing that causes you the most upset of anything in the world. And then they give you a prescription, which always involves giving them money. Always. Then, when you come in to give them money, they love bomb you. And they're assuring you that whatever your problem is, they're going to help you fix it. And then they're saying this is really, well, I'm not saying everything is BS. You know, they got to give a little bit more real bait along the way from time to time. Think of it like when I studied psychology, behavioral psychology, and I learned every time you ask a cultee what they found useful, they always say, the communications course. Yeah. I will be studying up on that, but you're right. That is one of the things that everybody that leaves basically says, well, that was one thing that was good. So, yeah, exactly. L. Ron Hubbard gathered up a bunch of stuff already known in other disciplines, and then, you know, repackaged it and sold it like it was his new theory. So, not the first time that's been done. I mean, kind of everything builds on everything else. Right. So they help you build up some confidence. I mean, the thing is, it's like, if you tell somebody, Say no to your mother next time she demands something unreasonable. Some people would say, I can't say no to my mother. Now, for a lot of people, saying no to their mother is a daily occurrence, right? And they have no issue of saying no to their mother. Mother wants to borrow money? No. Mother says, scoot over on the couch? No. And so there are people who say no to their mother. It's not even a thing. There are other people who have never said no to their mother. So then you go to a class in Scientology called Saying No to Your Mother. And then somebody pretends to be your mother, and then you say no to them, and then the whole class claps and says, hip, hip, hooray, you did it, you said no to your mother. Then they have you practice it 20,000 times, and then you go home and you actually say no to your mother. And you say, damn, that was Scientology. And you think, this is amazing. This has helped me more than anything in my life ever. And obviously, L. Ron Hubbard's a super genius. And now they got my DNA. Oh no. Yeah, I know. Whatever. My paranoia level doesn't go to that extent. But anyway, so, then you go home, you say no to your mother. Maybe your mother doesn't even really freak out that bad. And maybe you realize, oh my God, I could have been saying no to my mother my whole life, and I didn't. And Scientology has given me that ability, that freedom. And
from Roxette here on Get Rad on the 80s on 8. Always fun to catch up with you, Pear. Thanks for stopping by. Always nice
yeah,
to meet you.
Davey, well, who runs Scientology? David Miscavige. There you go. In honor of David Miscavige, I dedicate my channel. But, I can't just use the man's name. So, certain things have to be altered out of respect. Polkaroo, I don't speak hieroglyphic. Am I son? Am I happy? Am I what? I don't know. Oh, here's a fun thing that Scientology did a decade or two ago. They did something, I believe it was called the Golden Age of Tech, where they figured out that there were some, guess who mismanages Scientology? Davey. But, we got to do the IGE thing because, hail the ruler. The psych drugs help you. So anyway, go to Manchester. I mean, remember, it's just as good to film an empty org as a busy org, and a lot easier to find an empty one. Absolutely. Ta-da! The glory, the majesty. The windows that are all covered up, indicating nothing going on. Have you no confront, people? All those closed blinds. And there's a lot of woodwork around there. Those windows need some fresh paint. Get Davey Slavey Navy out here sanding all those windows down on the outside. The cross is to make you think it has something to do with Christianity so you don't freak out in the beginning. But as one of the trolls said very early on, we are not a turn the other cheek religion. So that would kind of count out Christianity. Not that Christianity has displayed a lot of turning the other cheek in its glorious history, but they at least have the philosophy. Scientology, not so much. But yeah, like I said, go to Manchester, sure, and film the emptiness level and let the world see that. That counts for something. I mean, you can knock on the door and say, is anybody home? Like, why aren't you guys out here? Isn't this out ethics? Not even trying? I don't know when this building was built, but it used to be a hospital. Cedars of Lebanon, I believe is what it was called. Until Scientology bought it. And yeah, in the 20s, something like that. It's old for LA, definitely. But one of the funny things about this is that Scientology likes to talk. You went to Dublin? Oh, nice. Yeah, go in and mess with them. Just don't give them any cash. But go in and just, what you do as an actor, go in and ask a bunch of questions and then say you're thinking about it and then go back with a bunch more questions. I'm thinking in my former days as a salesperson, like what would have been the most annoying thing. It's a total double cross. Yes, exactly. The 8 dynamics. I thought there were 4, whatever. I don't know all those things. Not really trying to learn every detail of it, but I was kind of studying up today on those TRs. So it was first staring in each other's eyes, don't blink for 2 hours. And then I think the next thing was commanding the other person to do something. And then when they do it, say thank you. And then it was like commanding them to do it, and they resist you, and then you make them do it. And yeah, the test center, oh my God. I went by there yesterday. I mean, the lights are on the inside. That's about all you can say. All the curtains are drawn. It just looks over. Obviously, they're just trying to wait everybody out. It's not like they're going to shut down for good now just because of that. If nobody comes around for years. Anonymous did a lot of this stuff 15 years ago, whatever, 10 years, 15, 20 years ago. Not good on what year things were, but maybe up to about 20 years ago. And they took a huge bite out of the cult, but it didn't go away. It just limped along with a much lower membership level. And then they came up with the ideal org strategy to milk the parishioners for cash in another way, like raise money to start these ideal orgs. And the ideal orgs is a whole other level of bullshit. So the ideal orgs was a thing that I think was not even an L. Ron Hubbard thing. It's purely a Davey Miscavige thing. And so the idea was we have to get these huge, gleaming, amazing, up-to-date, modern buildings. And if we get the building first, that's going to draw in the people. We're going to impress them with our real estate portfolio, and then they're going to want to be Scientologists. And it seemed to not totally work out. It is not working out. And what happened is they just pressure all the local Scientologists into donating a lot of money, and then they pressure other Scientologists around the world to donate money to open that place. Then most of the Ideal Org's openings are delayed, like we're seeing right now in Austin, because they don't even have the ability to get enough staff members to run the place, so then they don't open it. Apparently in Austin, that $50 million building has been ready to go for 5 years, but they have been unable to get enough staff to run the Austin Ideal Org, and so therefore they can't open it. I think it was something like Davey Miscavige said, okay, you need 150 people on staff, and they could never get that. And then they're like, well, you need 130. And he kept going down, 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 down. And I don't know if they've ever gotten it. And so these really lame recordings came out, these videos, super lame, of these, there's the dude, what's his name, Roy? The guy whose son left Scientology and now is declared suppressive, and his father won't speak to him. Yeah, the guard on the bike. So anyway, what happens then is they bus in all these people from all over, all the other Scientology orgs, when they finally do open it up, and they get all these people working there. And the thing is, a lot of people that work there, they don't really make any money. And they get people to move to that city from wherever they live to go be a part of this new Ideal Org that's so exciting, and the worldwide expansion of Scientology is so amazing. And so they do that, and then what happens is that everybody ends up leaving within a few months. They end up leaving that city because nobody's making any money, because nobody's joining the org. And then what happens is, within less than a year, you have this gleaming $50 million property sitting empty with a few people in their goober suits trying to make it look like something's actually happening. And all they're really doing is working at the, hold on, for America, as a Brit looking into the fact that there's so much talk of child abuse. Yeah. Okay, Brit, you got Prince Andrew. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about Prince Andrew and all the inbreds. They're doing their fair share. But yeah, no, child abuse is horrible wherever it happens. I didn't read your full thing. I just saw that you're talking about as a Brit and in America and child abuse and whatever. And nothing is done. Yeah. Prince Andrew doesn't need the Church of Scientology to learn his evil skills. He has another reptilian-based organization to deal with, so that's fine. Um, oh, he'll get hurt. You know, karma's a boomerang, and Mr. Teddy Bear's on the bed. You know, whatever happens in the afterlife ain't gonna be good for that dude. But, you know, I mean, the thing is, if you're going to have the American level of freedom of religion, you're going to get more cults and whatever. And in general, I'd rather have more freedom of religion and then keep an eye on the cults than have a system that was so strict that not a single cult could ever get through. You know, because then you get in a situation where if you don't like a religion or if it's new, you call it a cult. So I understand that Scientology argument. You know, I get it. And I'm not a 100%, you know. And I get the argument that other religions started out as cults. Yeah, and I have no problem with... I don't know if England threw Hubbard out. I think it was more like he was under investigation. And I mean, Hubbard spent years just being on the Apollo, I guess was the ship back then, and just going, you know, just basically hiding from governments by being in a ship. Did they throw him out? Like they literally made him leave the country? Good for England. Yeah, and he was hiding. He was on a ship. I mean, he died in a trailer with rotten out teeth and with psych meds in his bloodstream. Okay? So, yeah, that wasn't a very great ending. Karma hit his ass long before he met his maker. The Shrinking World. I probably did see that, but I'm going to have to go and review a lot of these things that I watched a long time ago, because I do have a lot of recall of a lot of the stuff, and I do know a lot about it, but the more I do this, the more I'm going to have to brush up on some details and read some books. And I want to read Mitch Brisker's book. I want to read Xenu Miscavige's book. I believe I already read hers when it came out. But I think I need to read it again. And there are other books I definitely need to go over. Things that explain some of these details of Scientology. It's huge in South Africa, really? Well, sorry for you, South Africa, but that's a bummer. The thing is, my guess, in South Africa, a piece of blue sky, yeah, that's one. Yeah, I've definitely heard of that one, and I don't think I've read it. But I mean, what I would say is if Scientology got big enough in South Africa, I think the government might start taking a piece out of them. That's right. Yeah, Elron's Navy career was not great. In spite of all the stuff they claim in Scientology, not a great Navy career. Hey, you guys, if Xenu calls you and fills your heart with love, could you please like and subscribe if you haven't already? I would so appreciate it. We're at 111. You know, hate to disturb that magic number, but you know, we could always make it 222. But anyway, subscribers and likes, that's what I need. Thank you for your assistance. See, I should say it more like a Scientologist. I should say, you see that subscribe button? Push it now. Now. I said now. That would show more intentionality. Like Davey Miscavige telling you to clean that toilet with your own personal toothbrush. But yeah, I think that allow myself to subscribe. Yeah, Xenu brought you here. Xenu commands you to press the like button and the subscribe button and to share with your grandma. Because even grandmas can get ripped off by Scientology. And if your grandma's no longer with us, have her say hi to Elron. Oh, so in South Africa they got the electricity cut off because they didn't pay the bills. Okay. Yeah, we need a lot of t-shirts. Subscribing will help clear the interdimensional space cooties out of your existence and make you make your Thetan more in command of the messed universe. Mattergy, matter, energy, space, and time. One of the funny things about Scientology is that you can't show off your superpowers to others. Of course, Scientology gives you amazing superpowers, levitating ashtrays if your level of command has reached the adequate level. My Thetans make my skin itch. Yeah. I mean, Thetans are very itchy. And then when you really focus on it, it could drive you crazy. Yes, commanding ashtrays is a fine art and should be encouraged for all school-age children. Although good luck finding an ashtray these days. 4 hours a day, no electricity. Okay. Hey, Northern Ireland. I wish I was a dog in a past life. I hope I'm a dog in a future life. Yeah, I have the OT levels written and ready, not written, in my head, and ready to sell for $1 million per level to Scientology. They're giving out food, but very few people, maybe 10 people have come by in the last hour and a half to get some of it. Yes, Tom Cruise does create a lot of SPs. Not as many as little Davey and his zombie space navy and Slavey Navy. Go by where? Where should I go by? Well, you know, once I have like 100,000 subscribers and this channel's pulling in the cash, I am going to be flying around the world to every Scientology location I can find. Oh, there was somebody directing people to the food? There wasn't before, but let's go check. Because that's always a nice person to have a conversation with if they don't run like cowards. But yeah, the rest of the day, most days they had like 3 people standing there dancing and waving their arms around and trying to get people to come and get free food. So far today, there's been nothing, but if there is somebody, I'm going to get real happy right now. I'm going to feel my phaeton is going to start to quiver. And it's going to be a very nice feeling. Nope, not today. They don't want to take a chance on any unauthorized communications coming through to their people. That would not be desirable in the L. Ron Hubbard universe. No undesirable N theta shall come upon the ears. Oh, come upon the ears. Ooh. What implications does that phrase have? One of Davey's favorite things. Oh, it looks packing it in, packing it up. I wonder how their statistics were last Thursday. I bet they were amazing. I bet they just beat all the records. And if Davey Miscavige was here to tell us about it. You know, Davey Miscavige has not been interviewed, at least at any length whatsoever, maybe not even at all, since he was on Nightline with Ted Koppel, I believe, like in 1986 or something. I mean, that's quite a while ago, if my mathematician skills are correct. Yeah, it's been a while. So for a so-called religion where communication is their crowning glory, yeah, Nightline was his last interview. Yeah, everybody needs to watch that interview. You know, obviously the guy's under severe pressure for that interview. Very rehearsed, very uptight, trying to seem casual. You know, and bullshitting his way through the whole thing. Yeah, he totally got destroyed. I mean, that's the thing. They don't even have a spokesperson. They have a spokesperson that issues things in writing, but will take no question, never do a press conference, ever. Not good PR. And if you're so proud of all the accomplishments of Scientology, wouldn't you want to tell the world, right? Wouldn't you want to brag to the entire world about how awesome your religion is? Why wouldn't you want to do that? I'm asking you. Why would you not want to just like completely tell the entire religion, the entire world, no, all you know how to do is record stuff, but you don't know you don't know how to say stuff. You don't know how to put stuff out there. You definitely don't know how to have a calm cycle. What's a calm cycle, everybody? What's a calm cycle? Yeah, even the Pope can talk to people. Even the Pope can act like he's really sorry for all the molestation. And that's one of my ideas. You know what I want to do? I want to interview a priest. I want to interview a priest, and I want to tell the priest about this whole Scientology thing. And then I want to tear down many aspects of the Catholic Church right in front of the priest's face and see Well, USA has a different legal system, and religions are treated differently. So, and who knows why else? Who knows who's paid off or whatever? That's a whole other story. You know, does Tom Cruise call Oprah, and Oprah calls Obama, and then Obama calls Biden? You know, who knows how it works? That is probably not how it works, actually. Yeah, the priest won't back down. The priest will say, yeah, you know, it's a big organization. There's always going to be some wrongdoings, and you know, we're really sad about that, and we're really ashamed, and you know, he's probably going to try to minimize it and talk about the good works and whatever, you know, but he's going to be able to have a back and forth conversation with a real person. I mean, if reincarnation is right, I definitely have past life issues with the Catholic Church. You know, because for some reason, as a little kid, I was just like, something's wrong with that thing. I don't like those people. Not the people, but the priests, the nuns. And if you like comedy, check out Joey Diaz fighting with a nun on YouTube. Just search on YouTube, Joey Diaz fighting with a nun, or something like that. A hilarious rant. But yeah, there's a lot of evil organizations out there that also have a good side, right? That's what Scientology's copying here. They're an evil organization. They put out the little tent once a month or whatever, twice a month. They give out $50 worth of free food, and then they talk about it for 50 years. So the Catholic Church does a billion times more good works than Scientology's ever dreamed of doing. And yet, I think the Catholic Church is an evil organization as well. I think they have a lot of very well-meaning people in it. Absolutely. A lot of the nicest people ever. That's what we need. Priest, Sea Org, MMA, UFC. Yeah, that's what we need. We need the Sea Org to give their baddest mofo, and the Catholic Church to find the baddest priest, probably a Jesuit, the warrior priest. Probably that's who they'll pick. But that would be a good fight, and that would be a moneymaker. You know, they could give 50% of the cash to me and whoever you were that thought it up, and then, you know, each of the so-called religions could take 25%. That's the way we'll split this. That money was just resting in my account. Yeah. I had a stepdad figure that really hated religion, and when we were kids, he was never really my stepdad, but whatever. But he would say, if we had a dollar bill or a $5, I mean, that would have been historical. But he'd be like, "Let me have your money, I'll bless it, and it'll grow." And he was trying to teach us not to give our money to anything religious or anybody that says, if you give me money, you'll get more. But yeah, that's probably part of my thing about the Catholic Church, because he had a mom that would buy holy water during the Depression for her little altar at home or whatever. And he was so pissed off, he would take the holy water, feed it to the cat, and then pour the holy water container full of regular water and put it back on her altar. out of spite, when he was like 8 years old. So I was raised in that vibe of iconoclastic behavior. Let's smash the icons. Let's laugh at the superstitions. But yeah, Scientology barely does anything to even pretend that they're doing something charitable. And that barely anything is what you're looking at straight ahead. That's about it. That's the only thing I have ever seen them doing in 3.5 years here, in all my time in New York where they had a big org. And Scientology just takes. I mean, they want to do a little something so that they can claim that they are a charity, that they do charitable works. Yeah, they want that. Otherwise, they don't do anything for anybody. They prey on the mothers of dying children in the hospitals surrounding this location. That's what they do. They tell mothers of dying children, if you join Scientology, we can help you. We can save your baby. And when the baby dies, they say, you dilly-dallied. You waited too long to join Scientology. That's why it didn't work. It's all your fault. They prey on the weak and the gullible, yeah. They prey on people, yeah, and they say they brought it on themselves. That's another thing. I believe in manifestation. I believe in conscious manifestation. I don't believe it's like you say an affirmation 3 times and win the lottery, but I do think that your energy changes what you attract into your life, right? You know, have any of you guys known some guy that whenever they go out and they have a drink, they get in a fight? Now, some of those guys, they always start the fight, so it's easy. That's not manifestation. But I knew this guy that he would always go out and get in a fight every single time. And then he really tried to stop. He never started a fight anymore. Every time he went out, somebody else would start a fight with him. So, you know, I believe that your energy impacts what you manifest, definitely. But then Scientology turns that into, it's all your fault in this horrible way. And if you get sexually abused, that means that we need to find the past life where you did that to others and clear that past life. Instead of putting Danny Masterson in prison, we're going to find the past lives where you did that same exact thing to other people. And once we clear that, you'll be all good. No, it doesn't work that way. And Danny Masterson's in prison now. And Danny Masterson tried to get bail. Yeah, and some people it's just the drinking. But what I'm saying is some people, it's just they have a certain energy that does pull certain things in. You know, if you walk around in a dangerous neighborhood at night and you have a really scared look on your face, you're more likely to get attacked than if you have a very confident look on your face. Okay, that's manifestation. It's not that mystical, okay, but there is something about it. But Scientology turns it into the most horrible thing. Yeah, they're all about helping the able. which means if you don't have any money, don't bother showing up, because you're not really eligible for what we do. You know, we don't help people that are broke. We don't help losers like you. We help people who can afford $300,000 to find out about the mythical aliens. That's who we want. That's why we target people like actors. So, yeah. Everything in Scientology is heads I win, tails you lose. What's up right now? Sorry, these comments just kind of fade away if I don't catch them right away, and then I have to wait till somebody else comments to then see the one that just faded. And it's hot and sunny in this beautiful summer day in January. This 80-degree whatever day. That's right. That's right. Chichicana standing up for Davey Miscavige. Yeah, politics is another thing. Not doing that here. I was thinking of having a politics channel, or, you know, kind of news, whatever, commentary type channel. But I'll wait on that. Because now we got to keep our focus on these people. Look at that. We got a whole community here. I love it. Such a cool vibe. And that's the way it is with all of us who do this filming work and commentary. I mean, we all kind of like watch each other's feeds when we're at home or whatever, and it's a real nice feeling of, you know, having the same purpose as these people that are all quite a bit younger than me, but I never hang out with people my own age. When I was younger, everybody was older. I get older, then they're younger, you know. My eternal youth makes certain things happen. Yeah, Xenu. Where art thou, O Xenu? We need you here. We need you here representing us, and I think, yeah, we need to do a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for Xenu. Can you guys please nominate Xenu for a star? We have to figure out if that would be for motion pictures or TV. I don't know. Xenu has so many areas, you know, that he excels at, that he might need numerous stars on Hollywood Boulevard. And I think we know where they need to go. Well, one needs to go at the testing center. That's the first one. Xenu approved. Hell yeah, that's a stamp you want. That would be a good tattoo, actually. First person to get a Xenu approved tattoo gets a big hug from me on film for the world to see. So we'll get Xenu a star. Odo, yeah, I haven't seen Odo around. Maybe he's in a little spanky session for all of his transgressions with the penile areas of certain young gentlemen. It seems that Odo has a soft spot for the hard spot. Yeah, he's a twit, that's for sure. Xenu, please, with a... He's behind a glory hole, yeah. Being glorious, his usual glorious self. Hail Xenu, ruler of all that is good, transmitter of everything Hubbard ever wrote. The voice behind Hubbard, the voice in Hubbard's ear was Xenu. We all know that now. Hubbard didn't even know that, but we know that. So that's a good thing. That's a positive thing. Let's see. Will there be any food for that dude? Or did the closed up nature of this situation mean that he gets nothing? Odolicious and nutritious. Oh, there we go. Looks like he got something. Awesome. Awesome. Nice. If any actual real human, non-zombified actual humans can get any free shit off of Scientology, I am all for it. I do advise against drinking their Kool-Aid, because you never know. Unfortunately, some people don't get the reference because of language barriers, but that's okay. Damn, dude, nice job. I like it. Take them for all they got, and they ain't got much except real estate, and that's kind of hard to take. No, they do. They've been giving out some stuff here for free. Yeah, apparently his name is Odo, and we were talking about that a little bit last night. I was wondering the same thing, like, is he German or what? I think he sounds very American. I don't think he has a foreign accent or anything, but that doesn't mean, you know, that he's not originally from Germany or Holland or whatever. I don't remember. Oh, Huber. Huber's his last name. That's right. Well, that could be anything. He's German? Okay. Is he from Germany, or is he, like, did his parents come here? Game of Thrones. Yeah, the whole thing of buying a book. If you don't buy the book from us, it won't work. You can't get it at a used bookstore. You can't get it on Amazon. Nothing like that. It just won't work. It'll lose all of its magical powers if you procure it in that fashion. So please like and subscribe if you haven't. Don't want to remind too much, but we are building something here. It's gotten about 500 new subscribers, which is about a third of the total, a little bit more than that in the last week. And that's because of you guys. And I'm really, really grateful, because this is allowing me to devote more of my time to this. Just bought some more equipment so I could start constructing a little home studio, so I can do some stuff from there. And yeah, I need the likes for the YouTube algorithm, exactly, and the subscribes, and the shares. That helps a lot. But yeah, you know, helping me out with this is a really nice thing for you to do. You contact 5 a day. They beg for you contact 5 what a day? They all beg for contributions. No, the only action really is that they're giving out some food, but they're not bothering to alert anybody. Oh, representatives. Oh, great. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, the thing is, here's the deal with contacting a representative. They have their own kind of algorithms, and they count different forms of contact in different ways. So, for example, if you call your representative, that gets a certain number of points. If you email them, it's a certain number of points. But the most points that they get, the most that they, so basically it's kind of like they figure if one person calls us, they're expressing the opinion of, let's say, 5,000 people that don't bother calling, right? And, they have their own metrics for that. But when you actually write a letter that you put in an envelope and send them, that's the highest impact that you can have. Because hardly anybody does that anymore. And so if you write them a letter, they might count that as standing in for 50,000 people, So if they get 10 of those letters, they're paying attention. And, that goes for the White House, that goes for anywhere. They look at letters much more than they look at phone calls. Yeah, where are your stamps? Right over there by the 8-track. Yeah. Yeah, Scientology probably does do that. They probably send actual letters all the time because they know these things. They know how to work the system. Yeah, so somebody, I can't remember where I saw it, but somebody was talking about that. It was somebody on YouTube, and one of my many billions of hours watching that, where they said, if you want to get the attention, it really doesn't take that many letters to let them know that a lot of people are thinking about this stuff. But other methods don't work quite as well. So, hey, you guys, I'm going to take a break now, and I'll probably be back later. Again, like, subscribe if you feel called to by the spirit of Xenu and his awesome inspiration to L. Ron Hubbard. We all stand in awe of them. And I thank you, Polkaroo, and all of your compadres here on the channel, and hope to see you in a few hours. Bye-bye.